longer in Pennsylvania for all the votes to be counted. That's their law. All right, Brian, thank you. Arthel?
All right, Brian and Eric, thank you for more on this. Now we're going to go to Lauren Wright. She's a political scientist for Princeton University. So, Lauren, you're in Philadelphia right now. First of all, why is this race? Yes. Why is this race so close?
Well, it's really interesting to think about it in the terms you and Eric just phrased, which is that we have two big races in the state. One's a Senate race that's airtight, and then one is a gubernatorial race where the Republican is 10 points behind. And why is that? That's because these candidates are not the same. Yes, voters are very angry at Biden and Democrats, but they're still looking at the individual views of these candidates, and they're still finding someone like Mastriano very alienating and perhaps too extreme. And so it's interesting because it's a razor close race, and someone like Oz might not normally have a chance. Fetterman was very popular at the Democratic primary stage, but now he does, and the scales seem to be slightly tipping in his direction, at least increasingly so.
So staying focused on the Senate race, Lauren, so who are the undecided voters at this point, if there are any, and what will tip them one way or the other?
So the name of the game, and I'll put this in terms of Republicans, because really they have the key task at hand, is to get those moderate voters who maybe sometimes vote for Democrats, but are really angry about inflation and crime under Biden, comfortable enough so they can cast a ballot for a Republican. And the question is, how do you do that? And so Democrats, for instance, have looked at the president and they know that he's toxic, and that's why he's not invited somewhere like Pittsburgh. That's why he's going with President Obama into Philly, which is much safer for Democrats.
And
Republicans have not done the same thing with Trump. Sure.
But you know, you've got President Trump. He's going to be there, stumping for Oz. And then of course, you talked about the Obama-Biden 1-2 punch there in the state. Will this fight, but by those two, Democratic rock stars, tip the fight in the favor of the Democratic candidates there? Or can President Trump give Dr. Oz the edge that he needs?
So I think the Trump strategy is much riskier, because the voters Republicans need are those moderate voters that are not quite sure if they're comfortable voting for a Republican. And so someone like Trump or someone like Mastriano, who might be too extreme for them, you might risk alienating those people that are paying attention at these final stages. So that is different than someone like Oz, who has a handful of fairly moderate views on something like abortion compared to fellow Republicans. And so he has a chance of winning. Mastriano really doesn't seem like he does at this point. And so why would you put someone like Oz with President Trump, who is a weakness to the Republican Party, in a year where they are otherwise doing extraordinarily well? They are looking at a likely very successful election night.
So let's talk about Oprah. How much does Oprah's endorsement of Fetterman matter, especially at this point, especially with women, all voters, but definitely suburban women?
So it can't hurt, but I don't think there's a lot of evidence that these types of endorsements help, especially at the general election stage. The place where celebrity endorsement can help a lot are attention grabbing and fundraising at the primary stage. But why I think this is so fascinating is it really shows that the Fetterman campaign is extremely worried about this race. They're pulling out all the stops. They want every single advantage they can get. And so sometimes you might get a voice like Oprah, who maybe gets younger voters to pay attention, maybe people that focus more on entertainment than politics, and it comes across their radar and they're reminded to vote. But really, this is a GOTV effort at this stage, not a persuasion effort.
I'm going to do one quick thing because we have to go here, but I kind of want to reviewing Pennsylvania's the 20 electoral votes there, college votes there. We know that Barack Obama won Pennsylvania in 2012. Donald Trump was the winner in 2016. Joe Biden won Pennsylvania in 2020. So does this ping-ponging for president foreshadow the swing in this Pennsylvania Senate race?
It could, because the basic political environment, especially the economy and inflation, favors Republicans right now. And so you might expect it to be a check on Democrats. And that's goes along with the national trends. But these races are so close, Arthel, that nobody knows for sure. And so overconfidence is also a problem for both parties at this time.
It's razor, razor, razor thin. And again, we will not know the actual outcome on election night. So everybody just be calm and wait for the answers. All right, Lauren Wright, thank you so much.